And now, Bottom Split Theatre.
Hi, and
Hello.
welcome. Oh, go ahead.
And welcome to Bottom Split Theatre. We are live from Charlotte Motor Speedway, North Carolina. This is the Global MX5 Cup. This is the entry level for aspiring road racers in iRacing. I'm David Haynes, joining me, Alex Albert, and in the camera booth, Michael Derby. How are we doing, Alex?
Doing very well. Just saw a very exciting qualifying session here with Ryan Bradley sitting on the pole by an impressive amount over a second, about 1.1 over Ray Malta. This looks like starting third will be Casey Drake and Rodriguez Bailey beside him. Albert Dirador and Adam Steele will round out the third row. Miguel Rizzo and Tegan Atkins will be, Rizzo qualified 7th, and these other cars didn't set a lap. It looks like they've already packed it in. Hayden Cummings is going to start from the back of the grid with Mariano Ariza. So
yeah, we had
Hayden,
our eye on that number 11 car during qualifying, and I think despite their best efforts, they've not managed to set a valid time.
Right, and Hayden was featured in our first race tonight about an hour ago, so great to see him back. And now it looks like everyone's on the grid, so expect hope. And there's a jump start by Mariano. Engines up, lights out. Here we go. They're off.
Good jump from second place by Ray Malta. He might make it side by side when they go into turn one, the infield section of this road oval combination, roval as they say. And he's through to the lead is Ray Malta. So they'll go through the infield section, and then there's the very fast oval section, brings them back around to the start. So that's something to look out for. But Ray Malta with the jump early.
I think Mariano stopped. I think that he got the black flag for a stop and go penalty, and then tried to stop on track to serve it. When that didn't work, he then took off, stopped again, and towed, and now has left the paddock. So hope to see you again, Mariano.
No qualifying, no race lap. Not a particularly good weekend here for him then, but Ray Malta leads. Ryan Bradley, our pole sitter, with very dominant performance in qualifying, now finds himself in second place. Then Casey Drake, but the battle going on for 4th and 5th between Rodriguez Bailey and Hayden Cummings. I think Hayden Cummings has made that up into 4th place.
Wow. Yeah, Hayden Cummings is quite the mover, up 4 positions so far in the running for the Dickens Cider Hard Charger of the Race Award. We'll wait a little bit longer in the race to pick that, but yeah, definitely great moves there in the opening laps.
Indeed, and one of the things we've got to look out for is how powerful that draft is in these little cars, that long oval section, the back straight, and then towards over the finish line in the first corner. To get away, you really need to have a big gap because the car behind will get a good draft off you.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see here if he's close enough to Casey Drake to be able to make that work. I know up at the front, Ryan is definitely close enough to Ray to be able to be a benefit of the draft. And as we see Hayden sliding around, ooh, very close to the grass as they both go back onto the circuit here.
And that bit of the infield's very tricky because if you get one wheel on the grass on the outside, it can send you into some almost unrecoverable understeer. And there's a real catchy catch fence out there. I'm expecting we might see someone in there in this 10-lap race. 8 laps to go now.
So it appears to me that the draft is working. He was 2 seconds back, Hayden was. Now as we work through 3 and 4, it's down to 1.5 seconds. So it seems like 2 seconds is our draft range.
Ray Malta's gone wide in turn 1, and there's contact between the leaders. They're both damaged, both in the wall. Ray Malta.
Oh, they're destroyed.
Wow.
That was
Casey
hard
Drake
contact.
will come through into the lead. Wow. So Ray Malta went wide, and then his second place cars not been able to avoid him, and they've come together. And I think that's a significant amount of damage to both those cars. Casey Drake comes through into the lead, and our hard-charging Hayden Cummings is in second now.
Yeah. This is great. Oh, and now the 9's off. Oh, and the Hayden follows him. All right, settle it down here, boys. You're in the lead, nowhere to go. Just don't crash it.
This will be spicy on the back straight for the lead, because I think Hayden Cummings is in a great place to pick up a draft of Casey Drake.
Oh, yeah, and I think that he's heard that we're paying a prize for this hard charger. So he's looking to claim that. Here we go, wasting no time. I'm sure he's going for the lead this time. Doesn't even stay in the draft. Swings it out wide. I think that he misjudged that maybe. Proves that maybe he needs to stay in the draft a little longer, or maybe he's biding his time. Doesn't really need to go by right now.
Casey defends the inside, breaks early.
Ooh.
Hayden's on the high line, makes it work though, gets it stopped and through into the lead.
Very tidy.
Casey Drake very early on the brakes. I'm not sure about that. Maybe just thought he'd have to brake earlier on the inside line and just misjudged that, giving away too much and giving away the lead. And
wow, so
them,
Hayden Cummings.
Bailey.
Awesome that he's into the lead here. Oh, but not to be counted out, Casey Drake making a hard charge back up through the infield. This is a very twisty section. This is old worn out pavement. Little grip. Oh, and he's in the danger zone. Oh, and he got a bit of the catch fence. It didn't quite catch him, but it definitely messed up his race.
We flagged that earlier. He just got two wheels out on the grass, and from there, you just can't make it turn. You start going straight, and he's clipped that fencing. He's lost second place. He'll keep going in third, but that elevates Rodriguez Bailey, who was sticking with them in third place, up into second place. And bigger gap now for Hayden Cummings. We'll watch that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
grass
you could see it.
will just send you.
Yeah, well, I mentioned that the pavement doesn't have much grip left, but it has more than the grass, and he found that out. Oh, and here we go. Hayden Cummings, a little too deep. Is he going to meet turn one wall? Woo, very close. Turn one wall, very, very dangerous here. Many races ended as we see Bailey chasing on. Oh, and our leader really pushing through turn 2 and 3.
Yeah, turn one's one of the danger points on this track because you approach it at a lot of speed. You got to brake hard, turn it in, and then the wall is right there on the exit.
I know the director's on this, but man, the leader is sure giving us some good film. The way he's bouncing around, throwing up the grass. Wow. Not leaving anything out there. Halfway through, going to be halfway home next time by.
So we'll do a real quick rundown then. Hayden Cummings, as we know, in the lead. Rodriguez Bailey in second. Casey Drake was leading at one point and now in third, still hanging with them. Then in fourth, it's Miguel Rizzo. Ray Malta, again a one-time leader. He's out there in fifth. Then Ryan Bradley, then Albert Dirador, and I think he's our last car running because we've lost 4 since the start of this race.
Yeah, we've seen some great racing, though. That was crazy. The leaders going for it there, taking them out, allowing the guys running third and fourth here to move up and star in the show instead of just playing the supporting roles this week.
5 laps to go, and let me say, I don't think third place Casey Drake is out of the running for the win here, because last lap our leader 26.5, Casey 23.7,
Wow.
the fastest car out there, 2.5 seconds. He can close that down in 3 laps at that pace difference. He is flying along in third place on that last lap and closing down the gap to second, which
Let's
is now
see what
one
he
of
does with Bailey.
Yeah, exactly. Although he came close to getting 2 wheels out on the grass again. He'll have to be careful through there. He's leaving no time to spare through the infield section, which is where you make your time. You might be in the draft now to really suck up close to second place.
Yeah, it looks like he's 1.8, but he got such a terrible run out of that corner that I don't think he's able to capitalize on the draft. That he's right there on the marginal edge. And with a poor run out of the corner, it's just not able to make anything happen.
So that's another critical place on the track, because a poor run out of there will jeopardize you for this huge run all the way around the oval, the longest straight on the track. You've got to make that turn work and maximize your exit.
Well, speaking of speed, my boy Hayden Cummings up front with a 23.9 all by himself. You know, he's not drafting off anyone. Fastest car on the track last lap and the best lap of the race. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Casey Drake was faster, but the lap time must have been invalid for a fastest lap, I believe. So a lot of fluctuation, I guess. These guys pushing hard, making some mistakes, losing some time on some laps, and then quick on others. So I guess it still is all to play for if one of these guys can string together some good laps.
Yeah, I think if Casey Drake maintains this draft right here, he's closed it down. It's 1.3 seconds now to Bailey. I think that he can make this down to about 0.5 maybe by the line.
If we look on board with Casey Drake, he's not even following in the slipstream of the car ahead. Now he is, he kind of works his way there, but it's possible he picked up a little bit of damage that was making the car a bit looser when he collected that wall earlier.
Oh, and Hayden Cummings is, for some reason, in the grass on the front stretch. He hit the wall.
A lot of steering damage. Yeah, what's he done there?
He touched the apron, went up, touched the wall, into the grass. This isn't going to help the handling. He's able to maintain the lead, but here come these hard chargers behind. I have to believe it's going to get spicy here real soon with less than 3 to go.
Yeah, I looked on board with Hayden, and he has that
struggling
30 degrees just to try and keep the car going in a straight line. That's going to hurt his pace on the oval. It's hurting him through these corners. Rodriguez Bailey and Casey Drake are close together, and soon they'll be right on him. The lead is 2 seconds, but it's coming down.
He might lose it on incidents. If he's not careful, he's going to get disqualified. It's a shame to see, after such a great run, after being featured in both races, to really let an unforced error like touching the apron and then oversteering into the wall lose the race. And here you go, you see these two guys bumping together. They know what's up. The race is between them.
Yeah, Casey Drake closed that up, and now they go 2 wide, and Casey Drake's up in a second. Rodriguez Bailey into the lead, but Casey Drake right there in the slipstream. He's ambitious. He could make a move into turn 1 because he's right there and closing.
I think he will here, as the flag man has 2 fingers out.
The cars are 2 wide, 2 laps to go. Casey Drake on the inside. Does he get it stopped in time? I think so. That lead is his.
Oh, and Hayden Cummings still wanting to have a fight at this. He's not content to stand on the 3rd step.
Yeah, Rodriguez Bailey losing out big time there, and Casey Drake, your winner.
Yeah, let's see. This definitely isn't over, but I'm telling you what, Cummings having a hard time keeping it on track. I'm not sure how many incidents he's had. Let's see here. By our spotters count, he has at least 8, but man, I tell you what, I feel like it's more than that.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen some curb hopping, some grass jumping, all kinds of stuff.
Maybe they've all been 1Xs, but here we go with Bailey, because you can tell Cummings severely hampered, hard into the wall earlier. No aero, really bad suspension damage. Nothing he can do here.
Yeah, in a straight line, Hayden Cummings just doesn't have enough, and Rodriguez Bailey does go up into 2nd place. Our steward's looking for clean driving, and if our drivers get too many infractions, they will be disqualified. So that's one thing they've got to look out for, is just to keep their race clean.
It's important. That's what you need to learn here in the lower ranks. Driving clean and driving smart is more important than out lap time. Bringing home the car every week, as we see Casey Drake out front on the last lap. Being chased, though, by Rodriguez Bailey, which I guess should come as no surprise with Bailey being the 2 car.
Yeah, that damage to Hayden Cummings, we saw him doing 1 minute 23 laps earlier. His last lap, 1:29. That's hurting him bad. I think he'll be able to hold on to 3rd place with no more errors, but yeah, that was some serious damage to his car, and he's lucky to still be moving, I think.
Oh, I would agree. He should be happy to stand on the podium after an unforced error like that, but luckily he had built out such a big lead before then. Hopefully, can learn from it when we see him again next week. So Casey Drake here is probably going to be your winner, barring any unforced errors, like we saw earlier, touching the apron, maybe oversteering into the wall.
I was going to say somehow we saw Hayden Cummings make a mistake here, but it shouldn't be such a technical corner. Casey Drake navigates it, and I think the win here today will be his.
Very good. And then Rodriguez Bailey coming out of the Atlantic team in 2nd. In 3rd is the previously mentioned Hayden Cummings from the West Club.
And he could have had the win today, but even with 3rd place, he is still our hard charger, up 5 places from where he qualified. That deserves a Dickens cider.
Cheers to that. And Miguel Rizzo now crossing the line, another driver from the West Club, finishing 4th tonight. And Ray Malta coming back with a recovery drive up to 5th.
Then our last 2 cars finishing is Ryan Bradley and Albert Dirador. Well, just when we thought maybe it had started to settle down, there's always a spanner in the works here at Bottom Split Theatre and in the Global MX5 Cup. That was exciting right till the end, and I love this track. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think that you'll see better racing. iRacing, it produces great racing in every split, and I'm just glad that we can bring the beauty of Bottom Split Theater to everyone.
All right, well, that just about wraps us up for today and this week's Bottom Split Theatre. I'm David Haynes. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Alex Albert, my co-commentator here, and not possible without the great work of our producer, cameraman, Mr. Derby. Thank you so much.
The wizard behind the curtain. All right, good night, and mahalo.